In women's tennis, talent alone doesn't guarantee admiration. The moment a player starts climbing the rankings, the spotlight tightens around them. Every celebration, every facial expression, every moment of frustration becomes a potential headline. Fans immediately take sides, debates erupt across social media, and suddenly one harmless gesture can ignite an international conversation. Some WTA stars are embraced for their composure and charisma. Others, fairly or unfairly, become magnets for criticism, drama, and heated opinion. That's what brings us to today's deep dive. We're breaking down the 5 active female tennis players who receive the most online hate, not to disgrace them or label them as villains, but to understand why certain athletes trigger louder reactions than others. In reality, the hate they face isn't about who they are as people. It's the complicated mixture of pressure, passion, fan loyalty, media framing, and the intense emotions that define professional tennis. Fame at the highest level doesn't arrive politely. It arrives with expectations, judgment, and a level of visibility most people could never endure. Some players get criticized for being too emotional, others for being too quiet, some for speaking up, others for staying silent. But behind every viral clip, every booing crowd, and every controversial moment is a human being dealing with extraordinary stakes. Today's list isn't about attacking athletes, it's about understanding the storm surrounding them. Because hate, in this context, isn't literal. It's the noise, narratives, and exaggerated reactions that follow the sport's most polarizing stars. Number 5 on our list is Yulia Putintseva, a player whose fiery personality has made her both entertaining and polarizing. Putintseva is a warrior on court, small in stature but massive in intensity, known for her dramatic reactions, animated expressions, and fierce competitiveness. While many fans enjoy her energy, others see her emotional eruptions as excessive, aggressive, or disrespectful. Throughout her career, Putintseva has smashed rackets, yelled at coaches, argued passionately with umpires, and sometimes vented her frustration at the crowd. One moment that amplified her negative reputation came when a fellow player snapped at her during a heated exchange, telling her, "Nobody likes you." The phrase spread quickly through social media, shaping an even stronger narrative around her supposed unpopularity. She has also been criticized for scolding a ball kid in frustration, and in another incident, she made an inappropriate gesture toward a booing crowd, an act that went viral and further cemented the idea that she was one of the tour's villains. And yet, beneath the fire and theatrics, Putintseva is a dedicated competitor with 3 Grand Slam quarterfinals on her resume. She trains tirelessly, works relentlessly, and plays with a level of heart that many coaches admire. Her emotional outbursts may frustrate some, but to her supporters, she is one of the few players willing to wear her emotions openly and unapologetically. At number 4, we find Danielle Collins, one of the most intense and unapologetically fierce players in modern tennis. Collins embodies what fans often describe as controlled aggression, but for some, her brand of intensity feels more provocative than empowering. Known for her booming screams of "come on" and her fiery court presence, Collins often draws strong reactions from spectators. Some fans admire her toughness, seeing her as a refreshing contrast to more reserved players. Others view her as confrontational, deliberately intimidating, or overly dramatic. The 2025 Australian Open provided one of her most divisive moments. After being heckled by fans, Collins responded by blowing sarcastic kisses and cupping her ear toward the crowd. Many praised her attitude as bold, confident, and unbothered, but others criticized the behavior as disrespectful and unnecessarily provocative. In a post-match interview, she escalated the online debate by saying, "The same people who hate you are the ones that pay your bills," and joked that her prize money would cover a luxurious vacation. This comment sparked both laughter and outrage. Some people saw it as iconic Collins behavior, fearless, witty, and brutally honest. Others called it cringe, rude, or arrogant. But regardless of public opinion, Collins has built a reputation as a player who refuses to be intimidated by anyone, crowds, critics, or opponents. She embraces the villain role when necessary, but she does it with intentional flair, turning every match into a psychological battle as much as a physical one. Our number 3 spot belongs to Naomi Osaka, a player who may be one of the most complex public figures in modern sports. Osaka is a global superstar, 4-time Grand Slam champion, cultural icon, mental health advocate, business brand, and one of the highest-paid female athletes on the planet. Yet despite her fame and popularity, she faces massive online criticism and remains deeply polarizing. Much of this tension originates from her complicated relationship with the media. In 2021, Osaka withdrew from press conferences at the French Open to protect her mental health, explaining that the traditional media format was harmful to her well-being. While many applauded her honesty, others found it contradictory when she continued using media platforms to promote causes and commercial partnerships. Critics accused her of selective engagement, while supporters saw her stance as courageous and necessary for protecting athletes. These debates intensified in Japan, where Osaka's activism, her mixed-race identity, and her outspoken political views sparked controversy among more conservative fans. Beyond politics, Osaka has faced backlash for moments perceived as poor sportsmanship. A notable example came at the 2025 Canadian Open, where she lost to rising star Victoria Mboko. During the trophy ceremony, Osaka did not congratulate Mboko, despite Mboko openly calling Naomi her idol. The silence was viewed by many as disrespectful and dismissive, fueling a new wave of criticism. 2 emotional public incidents also shaped her reputation: the 2018 U.S. Open final, where booze overshadowed her first Grand Slam victory, and the 2022 Indian Wells incident where a spectator yelled, "Naomi, you suck," reducing her to tears. To some, these moments highlight her vulnerability and humanity. To others, they reinforce an image of fragility under pressure. But regardless of opinion, Osaka remains one of the most influential and misunderstood players of her generation. Number 2 brings us to Jelena Ostapenko, one of the most dramatic, chaotic, and entertaining personalities on the WTA Tour. Ostapenko is a natural showwoman, powerful, emotional, unfiltered, and wildly unpredictable. She has one of the most polarizing reputations in tennis history, built on years of arguments with umpires, emotional meltdowns, and controversial comments. Early in her career, she was labeled a sore loser for blaming umpires, luck, and even opponents for her defeats. She once called a chair umpire blind and demanded they never officiate her again. She has knocked over chairs in anger, thrown water bottles, and repeatedly gotten into heated exchanges mid-match. But her biggest controversy came in 2025, during a match against Taylor Townsend. After losing, Ostapenko told Townsend she had no class and no education. The comments sparked immediate outrage, especially given Townsend's background as a Black American athlete. High-profile players including Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff publicly condemned Ostapenko, calling the comments unacceptable. Ostapenko later issued a PR-style apology, which many fans found insincere. The backlash was intense and long-lasting, reinforcing her chaos queen identity. She has also been accused of faking injuries, refusing handshakes, and deliberately provoking opponents. And yet, despite the drama, a large segment of fans adores her. They see her as entertainment embodied, bold, fierce, unpredictable, and never boring. Whether she wins or loses, Ostapenko guarantees drama, and in the world of sports entertainment, that makes her unforgettable. At number 1, topping our list, is Aryna Sabalenka, one of the strongest and most charismatic players of her era, and also one of the most heavily criticized. Sabalenka is a Grand Slam champion, WTA finals winner, and a beloved figure to millions of fans. But she also receives an enormous amount of online hate, more than almost any other active player. Part of this stems from geopolitical tension. Sabalenka is from Belarus, and since the war involving Belarus and Russia began, she has been repeatedly caught in political crossfire. Ukrainian players such as Marta Kostyuk have refused to shake her hand, leading to intense crowd reactions and countless online debates. Sabalenka has been criticized regardless of what she says. If she speaks, she's attacked for not saying enough, and if she stays quiet, she's accused of avoiding responsibility. On court, Her powerful personality sometimes leads to emotional moments that critics amplify. She has smashed rackets, shouted at herself, and once appeared to insult Elena Rybakina after a tense WTA finals match. But her most controversial moment came at the 2025 French Open final, where she was widely criticized for failing to congratulate Coco Gauff. In her runner-up speech, Sabalenka said, "I think she won not because she played incredible, but because I made too many mistakes." The comment was interpreted as dismissive and unsportsmanlike. The online reaction was immediate and brutal, adding to an already massive amount of hate she receives daily. Yet despite everything, Sabalenka continues to rise. She continues to fight, compete, improve, and win. Hate is loud, but her greatness is louder, and she is writing one of the most powerful legacies in modern tennis. In the end, these 5 women are not defined by controversy. They are defined by passion, raw, intense, unapologetic passion. Tennis needs heroes, villains, rebels, angels, and firestarters. Without them, the sport would be predictable. These players bring unpredictability, intensity, and unforgettable drama. They push boundaries, challenge norms, and spark conversations that shape the future of tennis. Whether loved or criticized, they make the sport better, richer, and infinitely more entertaining. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another powerful story from the world of sports. Bigger revelations are on the way. Stay tuned.